Hi children, let's get into English class, the lesson, the 100 dresses. In the previous class, we have learned that Peggy and Maddie is not that very naughty like Peggy, but Peggy was really horrible girl that she used to make fun of Wanda. And in her um, way of treating this girl, Wanda is too worst, and she was really got annoyed by this girl Wanda. And in this lesson, we will see how she get reacted to her teasing part. And let's come to page number. Let's come to page number. Yes, page number 67. And she was holding Maddie was holding certain marbles in her hand, and she was started rolling them up in her hand, and she was thinking not that she felt sorry for Wanda exactly. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy hadn't invented the dresses game. Actually, she never knew what's the plan of Peggy towards Wanda, the way she was making fun of her. She didn't realize what is the effect of that game. Okay, finally she came to know that something wrong is going on around her. But suppose Peggy and all the others started in on her next. She was not as poor as Wanda. She was not as poor as Wanda, but she was a poor girl, perhaps, but she was poor. She was not as poor as Wanda. She's not when it comes to the degree of her status of poverty, and she was not that very poor like Wanda. And perhaps, but she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. Of course, she could have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. I don't know, because even Wanda also had her own okay smartness of giving her response to Peggy that she had some 100 dresses. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her. She doesn't like the idea of teasing always Wanda, because Wanda was the only target of Peggy. She left remaining all children because all of them have a soft corner. Peggy had a soft corner towards everybody except Wanda. We too, sometimes without having any proper reason, we hate the people, no? The same way Peggy was also doing. That's really a great sin that we do. Never, develop hatred towards anybody who is not at all causing any harm to you. So when a person is not causing harm, we have no right to hate them. Okay, hating somebody without reason is also a sin. We are not supposed to be a sinner by hating the other people. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her. What does it mean by begin on her? Everybody's target is Wanda, because Peggy was the leader of the group and she was instigating everybody to make fun of Wanda. See, sometimes the supporters of this sin always encourage someone and nudge someone to do something or some harm to others. Here, Peggy was the master in that. Okay, she was encouraging other friends of her in order to tease Wanda. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petronsky. Who is wishing that Peggy should not tease Wanda? Maddie was wishing. Maddie was not that very bad, as I told you. Peggy was too bad, and she had no soft corner, or she has no kind feelings towards Wanda. See, oral comprehension check is there. I just wanted to give you these questions as homework. Let's come to the next paragraph. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. See, Maddie decided already. Maddie had made up her mind not to give any trouble to Wanda. But she doesn't like to, show her, kindness, or she doesn't want to show her willing towards anybody. But herself, she decided, I shouldn't cause any trouble to Wanda. But Peggy and other friends, she never mind them. Okay, they too got late today. They got late to class, but she decided that she doesn't like to give trouble to her. She worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. She was putting down her work on paper. She was doing the problems from arithmetic, but she was doing absent-mindedly. It means her complete mind was there on Wanda, the way she was being treated by the girls of the class. And she worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. 8 times 8. Let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. Maddie decided to write one note on paper and hand it over to, she wants to hand over to Peggy. And what did she do next? Because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy. She dared not to speak directly to Peggy. That's why she wants to write a note and hand it over through somebody to Peggy, so that Peggy would read it and understand. She might change her attitude towards Wanda, to say, "Hey Peggy, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on. See, she wants to write a note to Peggy and she wants to pass that note through somebody, but she couldn't do that. She had a great fear of Peggy. Peggy would have a quarrel with Maddie, because Maddie and Peggy were inseparable friends. I told you before. So when we are speaking to our friends, we would be more sensitive and we open our minds. Very open-mindedly we speak to our friends, right? So here also, this girl Maddie don't like to speak to Peggy. If she wants to set right Peggy's mindset, she dare not to do that, because Peggy was not such a girl that she'll take it everything in an easy manner. She would definitely have a quarrel with Maddie, so she couldn't do it. What she wants to write it as a note, she wants to aware her friend not to tease Wanda, asking different kinds of some trouble questions like how many dresses and how many hats and how many pairs of shoes that she has. She doesn't like that. But before she puts it on paper, on the ground, something else was happening. Peggy, along with some girls, she started making fun of Wanda, asking different kinds of odd questions. Suddenly, she paused and shuddered. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings, so no one in room 13 would recognize it. See, who is giving clothes to Maddie? Peggy's mother is giving clothes, handing down the clothes of Peggy's to Maddie. But nobody knows that Maddie is wearing the old clothes of Peggy. So what Maddie's mother is doing to those clothes? She was making certain trimmings that nobody could identify. That's the pair of dress of Peggy. See, actually Maddie is also equally having the status of Wanda. How Wanda is coming by wearing only one set of clothes. In the same way, Maddie is having different kinds of clothes, but all of them are belong to Peggy. Peggy's old clothes were given by mother of Peggy to Maddie's mother, and Maddie's mother is doing certain trimmings to her clothes so that nobody in room 13 can recognize them. So now you understand? The status of Maddie's living is almost equal to the status of Wanda. That's the reason it is really touching her heart. It's really causing her pain. That pain only Maddie can understand, because Maddie is wearing the old clothes of Peggy, just like Wanda. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. Oh well, Maddie ran her hand through her short blondie hair as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. Actually, there are certain thoughts were running so fast in her mind. But she couldn't stop her thoughts, because these thoughts were haunting in her mind, but she couldn't stop them. What difference did it make? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the note she had started. Actually, she put it on a piece of paper, but she tear them into pieces. She tore the bit of note into pieces, because how she takes it? Because Peggy is also one day definitely Peggy is also making fun of Maddie, if really it comes to her notice. That's why, because of this threat, Maddie stopped writing the note on paper, and she couldn't do that. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in whole room. In room number 13. Room number 13 is a place where Peggy, Maddie, and Wanda, all of them are the classmates. Okay, room number 13 knows that Peggy and Maddie were the best friends. Okay, suppose if she writes a note and give it to Peggy, definitely there will be a what? Their friendship will break. Okay, there will be breakup. That she can't do that. Okay, she don't want to break her friendship. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived upon Boggins Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived on Boggin Heights. The only reason for Wanda to get fun of, or how the people are making fun of this girl, is only because of living in Boggin Heights. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody. The only time she talked to us in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Actually, when we observe, when we study closely the Wanda's behavior, the character, the only one time that she spoke in the schoolyard is only about 100 dresses. When Peggy was asking whether she is having any dresses, she said that she had hold some 100 dresses. That was the only phrase that she used in the schoolyard. And Mattie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings. Okay, she had one blue colored frock with some trimmings. And she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. Okay, she was also having one more dress, and which is in brilliant jungle green with a red sash. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. Why the girls started making fun of her? If she really wears the green frock with a red sash, she looks like a Christmas tree. See how they are making fun of her. If anybody is wearing the green a dress or a green frock or a green long frock with a red sash, can anyone compare like that? She would be looking like a Christmas tree. But here it is being compared. Okay? And they were all pretended, this is all. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. Pretending means it's not real. Target in the sense a person, one who chosen for attack, and pretended in the sense not real. Not real. And here you see, thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in a closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. Actually, there came an announcement in the classroom that some interested candidates who would like to give out their names for drawing contest. Okay, then the children started giving out their names. Among those children, even Wanda is also one, and Wanda actively came forward and given out her name. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys of designing motorboats. There are two different kinds of contests which are being divided for both girls and boys. And boys, they can draw motorboats, okay, and for girls it is just drawing the dresses. Okay, there are two different contests which are being designed for both boys and girls. Probably Peggy would win the girls' medal. Why Peggy would win the girls' medal? Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. Okay, so one day has come, the day of drawing contest has come, and everybody sat. All the girls in the classroom sat for the contest, and the papers are given out, and children started drawing different kinds of dresses. And when the teacher was observing, according to her observation, obviously Peggy was the only girl who had drawn the dresses so beautifully. Okay, everybody thought that Peggy would win the contest. Okay, that's the evidence. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that's what everybody thought. Everybody thought according to their own way of thinking and guesswork. They all thought that Peggy would win the medal. She would copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head so that you could almost tell who it was. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win because Maddie was a friend of Peggy, and Maddie thought that Peggy would definitely win this drawing contest. Tomorrow, the teacher was going to announce the winners, then they'd know. Okay, everybody came to know that the next day the teacher will announce the names of the winners, so everybody were aware of it, and they were so enthusiastic to listen to the teacher's result out from her mouth. The next day it was drizzling. The light rainfall was there. Okay, drizzling in the sense a very light rain started, okay, falling. It was drizzling. The next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Peggy was the only girl brought the umbrella with her, and Maddie got and took the shelter under her umbrella. Naturally, Naturally, on a day like this, they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street. Actually, what was the spot where these two girls are always waiting for Wanda? It's Oliver Street. But whenever the weather was not so pleasant, they never wait for Wanda. So why were they waiting for Wanda? Their one and only subject is Wanda because they just wanted to make fun of her. That's the only reason. They don't have any positive approach towards Wanda. The street that far away under the railroad tracks and up the hill led to Boggin Heights. Actually, that Oliver Street would take till the end of Oliver Street is nothing but Boggin Heights. Tracks uphill led to Boggin Heights. Anyway, they were not taking chances on being late today because today was important. Today they don't want to wait for Wanda. They just wanted to hurry to school because the teacher, if she comes to the classroom, she would be definitely announcing the names of the winners of the contest of drawing. So both Peggy and Maddie hurried school. The remaining part of this lesson will be continued in the next class. Until then, goodbye.